welcome back. I'm in Bescot. Bescot is part of Walsall, just north of Birmingham. I'm at a freight train depot on the side of the M6 and we're going to shoot a couple of aerial hyperlapses with Percival. Percival is a DJI drone, it's a Mini 3 Pro, and this freight train depot, I came here a few weeks ago, shot some daylight stuff which you may or may not have seen. We got some really nice daylight shots, and part of that was a bit of a recce. I thought how good it would be, or how good it could be, to get the freight train yard in the foreground of a shot, a hyperlapse shot. At night it gets lit up with these big floodlights, but a bit of movement in the freight train yard, and then the M6 runs right up the side. We'll get lots of cool movement on there. It's just gone 8 PM, so we're a little bit past rush hour, but still plenty of traffic on there. It is the M6. Wind conditions are good. I've chose today because wind is low. It's been a fairly gusty day. There may be some gusts up top, but considering the past week that we've had and the next week of wind forecast, there's a small window of opportunity to do it tonight. So I'm here today. It's about 3 degrees. It's getting cold. It's the end of November, but decent hyperlapse conditions. So we're going to do 2 hyperlapses. We're down at the southwest end of the freight yard. First one is going to be fly up and to the left, and we're going to do a simple waypoint flight to the right, maybe a bit of a pan left, but not too much, more of a side swipe, and hopefully get some movement in the yard, and then the M6 behind. After that's done, we'll move. I'll drive up the top end of the yard about a mile north, and we'll get one looking down the M6. But for now, simple shot, left and right. We're about halfway through the first flight. I've set it at 350 shots, which should give us 14 seconds of time lapse. There's 5 minutes left on this flight. Look at this air. We've had a lot of rain the past 2 days. Yesterday it rained all day, and then today is very low wind and cold. We're getting all this water vapour. And just behind me you may just see this radiant fog building up from the ground. I'm not sure if the hyperlapse will pick that up, but might be worth getting out early tomorrow on something else. I'm going to do a tutorial at some point and be a bit more descriptive of what settings I use on these. But for now, I'll quickly show you. If that focuses up. The aircraft's at 120 metres. Its distance from me is now 100 metres. I started that at 500 metres away. It's something that I wouldn't usually do with the Mini, not in the daylight anyway. I don't think you'd see it, but at night you can see those green lights quite well. Started at 500 metres away. It's going to come back to just over our heads with a sort of panning motion like that. There's the freight train yard there. Not a lot of activity unfortunately, but the motorway looks pretty good. These big floodlights are a bit of a pain. They're going to really burn out and blow out in the images. We won't be able to pull them back much. And annoyingly, these are really warm on the left, and these are a lot cooler on the right. You can see just there as well, warm on the left, cool on the right. So I'm not sure how that's going to look. Where's my focus? It could look quite interesting. For that reason, I've left the white balance on manual. So it's at 4:1 just now. We're shooting raw. ISO 400 and half a second shutter speed because the wind's fairly still, which is telling me that I'm 0.7 under, but they're raw files, and yeah, we can fix those in post. It says 4K here, but this is DJI's own little processing option, which I don't use. I'm going to do my own thing in post with After Effects. I think that's for another day. Anyway, those are the settings that I use. Just 3 minutes left on the flight. We'll bring her back down, or him, Percival, and we'll move on to the next location. Come on, baby. Alright, the second hyperlapse is going to be quite a good one. I've got a nice little shot of the freight yard and the motorway on the left hand side, and it's just a real simple few 100-meter reveal with the drone pulling back and showing a bit more of the yard. I'm talking very quietly because I'm on a small dark park in the middle of a housing estate and I look a little bit dodgy. So I'll leave it there, play out the time lapses and see you in the next one.